Hello, my name is Jose Soto, and this is my Technology-Infused assessment module. Prior to taking 4306, my perception was that teaching ELLs was not that different from teaching any other student. I had the advantage of subbing in the Irving ISD, and I found that teaching ELLs is both challenging and rewarding. And once we accommodate for English language acquisition, it's not going to be that different from teaching any other student. After having taken Beat 4306, my perceptions haven't changed. If anything, they were reinforced. Um, Again, once we accommodate for language acquisition, it's not going to be that different. Every child comes in with their own separate set of unique experiences and challenges. Common misconceptions about working with English language learners. One of them is that ELL speaks Spanish. Due to globalization, we're going to see influxes of immigration worldwide, and this is going to bring a diverse collection of languages. So although maybe historically true, especially in North Texas, moving forward, we're going to see an uptick of immigration from other countries. ELLs are all of low socioeconomic status. This is not correct. People immigrate to the U.S. for a variety of reasons, and some of them are very educated, highly skilled, and economic status is not going to be much of a factor for them, or at least not as much. ELLs are immigrants. This is another misconception. There are plenty of U.S.-born students who don't have the social structure that allows them to acquire English. You're going to get kids showing up in your classroom who were born in this country and don't speak English. ELLs that speak social English can speak academic English. This is incorrect. Social or BICS English can be acquired fairly quickly and easily. CALP is another thing altogether. Just because they can communicate on the playground doesn't mean that they will thrive in your classroom. ELLs are behind academically. According to the Pew Research Center, the U.S. is average in science, math, and reading. So you're going to have kids that don't speak English in your classroom that immigrated from another country in which they're ahead of their U.S.-born cohort in science, math, and reading. So this is not going to be true in their case. Some critical concepts. For me, Jean Piaget was probably the most interesting and critical component that I learned. He first posited the constructivist model for learning. This is the idea that we construct our worlds through experience. The phenomenon and the connections between them are what we refer to as schemas. These schemas, collectively referred to as schemata, is what our model of our world is made of. And we exist in a state of equilibrium. When we confront new information, or that is to say learning, we can either assimilate that new information because it fits nicely with our existing model, or we will enter a state of disequilibrium, and then we have to accommodate the new information, which is done through, or at least done best through inquiry-based learning. That is to say that teachers will create the environment where students will experience the new information in an organic way and then enter and exit equilibrium and fit the new information into their models. This, of course, brings into the equation Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The bottom three tiers of that hierarchy need to be met before a student can learn. If those needs are not met, it could mitigate your efforts in the classroom. Another critical idea was the PRISM model for language acquisition by Collier and Thomas. At the center is the social and cultural processes. So kids will need to have that love and belonging and safety strata of the hierarchy of needs met before they can learn. Some do's and don'ts. Keep in mind that content is not one size fits all. So you have to make sure to keep your accommodations in mind. Implement Krashen's I+1. Challenge your kids. Make them go in and out of disequilibrium. And that's, if you couple it with growth mindset, that's how they'll learn. Do keep in mind Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. This goes hands in hand with Prashan's I+1. Challenge your ELLs. Don't delay their academic progress. Insist on home language use. In the past, we thought that L1 would impede L2. Now we know that they work hand in hand, and it can be beneficial. Don't undermine student trust. It is your most important asset. Don't entertain low expectations from your students. Challenge them, and they'll meet those challenges. Do not delay academic development of ELLs. I think I mentioned this previously. It promotes failure beneath the twin peaks of L1 and L2. Challenge them. They'll grow. Do not create lesson plans that are frivolous. Plan purposefully. Make sure that they create an inquiry-based learning. And these are my resources. Thank you.